In my life and my career, I've learned a lot of hard lessons. And let me tell you, they've been very painful, but they are also very helpful. I truly believe that the people we are today are a culmination of all the events that have taken place, positive or negative, throughout our life. I look at each of my failures as learning opportunities and things that I strive to get better from. And so today I'm going to be sharing 3 really personal kind of failures and lessons from my life, in hopes that sharing this will get you to maybe not make the same mistakes that I've made in the past. So let's jump right in. Okay, so the first one comes from my college days. So I went to school at Rochester Institute of Technology, which is in upstate New York. It's a really preeminent school. They're kind of well known for computer science and computer engineering as the kind of major disciplines. There are other sciences and things there as well. But that's what they're mostly known for, and I went there for computer science. For me, I was 18 years old. This is the first time I'm living away from home. I had some personal stuff going on. I ended up going to school a quarter late, so RIT worked in quarters instead of normal semesters. So I ended up going a quarter late, and I was already feeling super behind. I think I even started like 2 days late into the quarter because of when I was able to get my laptop and have my family drive me all the way up, basically near Westchester County, New York, all the way up. It's like a 6 or 7 hour drive. RIT for me was like one of the most difficult and troubling periods of my life. The family was going through financial hardship. I didn't know, if I was going to be there at school next quarter. And for the first time ever, I was doing really poor at the very beginning. And I just felt so lost. There was really basic 101 stuff that I just wasn't getting. I also was just adjusting to being on my own and doing my own things and waking up at my own time and just taking on more responsibility overall for myself. This was really difficult for me, and ultimately the end of the story there is I had to drop out after I think about 2 years because we couldn't afford it anymore. It was just that when I started actually doing pretty well in school that all had to happen. So I eventually kind of got better and turned it around. But the main lesson there that I have is, I didn't really ask for the help that I needed, either financially or even scholastically trying to learn. I kind of just took it on my own and just kind of absorbed and took in all of the pain and really just bottled it up. It was really difficult for me. I had a lot of shame, I would say, from not doing well in school and not knowing if I could go and come back. I remember my friends saying hey, are you gonna be here next quarter? And I'm like, I don't think so, I don't know. And then suddenly I had to leave and disappear. I don't know if I would have maybe raised my hand more for help, things would have changed. Who knows? I look back on those times and think that maybe things could have been different. And they probably would have if I just kind of was honest with myself, was honest with everyone around me, including faculty and staff at the school, and just kind of raised my head and said, hey, I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. Please help me figure this out. I had one close friend there who helped me with school. His name was Justin, and he was amazing, and I definitely got his help in some school stuff, but I needed more help, and I just was not ready for this challenge. I wouldn't call it a regret because I don't kind of live with it to this day, but if I could go back and change really just one thing, that would be it. Ultimately, I did recover. It's a lesson that I have taken forward with me. And I also take it as almost I don't want to say a badge of honor, but I have it as a scar and a story that I can tell now that I have actually found success in my career, and I do what I love, and I'm living out my dream, that I set out to do before I even went to college. So I think it's easier for me to look back now and say, hey, things are better now. You made it and whatnot. And I also, again, like I said earlier, I think that helped me form into the person that I am today. And I like to think I'm extremely hardworking, but also not as afraid to raise my hand and ask for help when I need it from the people around me. So college and Rochester taught me a lot of hard lessons there. I'd say the second one, this is kind of early career now at 343 or Microsoft, is you can't really do it all on your own. When I joined the studio, I was just so hungry to do everything and anything that I could. I kind of had this mentality of like, and honestly I still have a little bit of it today, I kind of have this like mentality of if this person isn't doing it right, or at least from my perception, or there's like work that's being left, I just like went after and tried to do it on my own. And it was kind of like, instead of taking people along for the ride, either on my team or other teams, or trying to work with other people and leverage their skills and leverage what they're passionate about to help myself, I just kind of like took it all for myself. And I think what I learned is like, one, there's no way I could do all of these things as well on my own. Today, we have a great HCS team, and they're all super skilled and talented and passionate and experts in their own realm. There's no way HCS could be what it is without this team. And I think in the past, I used to think that like I had to do it all on my own. And that was like I think it was like a mentality that I learned. Maybe it was a bit of arrogance, to be honest. Maybe it was, being kind of a lone wolf introvert, just wanting to do things on my own. Probably a mix of a lot of things, honestly. I would realize over time that like I wouldn't be able to do as much on my own because I didn't have all the skills and I certainly didn't have all the time. And so like the product would suffer in different areas, or, I would ask for help, but it was a bit too late, and I took on, more on my plate than I could actually do. Things started to fall off in other areas, and that caused problems for other people. And so, I just learned over time that like the best way to do things is with the team, and the people around you are going to kind of make everything, better in terms of the product for what you're trying to do. And it'll just be more fun and enjoyable along the way. And I think that's kind of one lesson that I've kind of learned as I've matured and grown, and now I'm a manager as well, is the team is everything, and you're not going to be able to accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish if you're not working with the people around you. And even those that might not like you or might disagree with you, you still have kind of lots to learn from other people and lots of different skills. And ultimately it's best to like put your ego aside and work with others and share the success and share the failures and kind of push forward as a group together. And I try to see myself more as like a leader now, leading a group of people to success rather than kind of trying to just like take it all for myself. The last one, which is somewhat related, is take care of your relationships. I've talked about it in certain videos in the past, but in my opinion, if you have a strong relationship with the people around you, either on your team or partners on different teams or even partners in different studios or companies, I should say, you're really going to be able to face any situation together. I don't think I always really understood that or appreciated that. And it wasn't until my current boss, Elizabeth, became my boss. This is like 5 or 6 years ago now. She helped me kind of mend the relationships that I had broken. And again, kind of goes back to the kind of lone wolf situation that I talked about before. I think I was taught the wrong way early on, but I also didn't realize it for myself. If I could, go back, I would certainly take better care of the relationships, because ultimately, again, the relationships are the foundation of which all of the work that you get done and want people to do for you is based on. Today, I try to take care of all the relationships, and it took a lot of work. When my boss kind of became my boss, it was one of the main tasks that I had put on for myself with her, which was, working on mending these relationships. And I had to go and eat crow, and I had to, really look inside and kind of understand myself and check myself for, why I had done the things that I had been doing, and I had to be a better listener. I had to understand what people wanted more. I had to understand their process more, and what their goals and what they were being held accountable to. I just had to kind of listen and understand more. Just be authentic too, where I might not agree with everything you say, but that doesn't mean we can't have a strong relationship. There's plenty of people I work with today where we don't agree on a lot of things, but we can talk about these openly, and at the end of the day, you know, we don't hate each other for it. And that wasn't the case back then. Back then, again, this is like probably like 6 through 9 years ago. You know, if I didn't agree with somebody, in my mind, I was like, I'm right. If this person's not on board with me, well, it just means they don't give a crap, or they're out for their own interests. They don't like me, whatever it is. And like, maybe a couple of those things were true in certain instances, but like for the vast majority of people that I work with, you know, that's not true at all. Yeah, again, in an effort to actually get what I thought I was needed for this community and for the players, I had to, you know, mend these relationships. And for some folks, it took years, you know. If you burn bridges, it takes time to build them all back. And now today, when I meet new people, I work with new people, you know, I'm always trying to make sure the relationship is as strong as it can be, and be open and honest with people, and show my respect and show my thanks, and show how grateful I am for, you know, them just supporting us. Make sure that, you know, if there's any kind of tension, I'm there to try to diffuse it and to make sure I'm communicating the right way so they understand where I'm coming from, and I don't put people on the back foot. So there's a lot of work that has gone into this, and it's definitely something I had to learn the hard way. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you're open to it, would love to hear in the comments, you know, some of the hard lessons that you have learned over the course of your life and your career, and how you've kind of taken that forward. That's going to do it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one.